But then what's the problem of childbirth today? A lot of people are so afraid of giving birth, although you're maybe enjoying the pregnancy. But when it comes to birth, there's a lot of fear in it. I think this is a very big problem because a lot of emphasis in other childbirth preparation class about pain, and media portray childbirth as dramatic and traumatic. We've seen that. And although the birth happened to be very serene and natural birth, and just that one part where the woman was screaming and yelling, and that's the part that they will show. Yeah. And that's too much emphasis. Well, when we are programmed with this, which is focused on the pain, and when a woman gives birth, the sensation that she feels, it's not something that she's familiar with, especially for first-time mom. Therefore, any sensation that she feels, she could translate that into pain. But it is only a sensation. A lot of moms does not feel pain. That means pain is not part of the childbirth process. It is definitely not suffering. What about this? Yeah, a lot of birth happen in the hospital without a chance to move about, and they are being monitored all the time, and they're tied on the bed and not able to move. Yeah. Because we see birth as a medical event, which is not. For at least 95% of the women who have a healthy pregnancy should not end up like this. And support team. Yeah. Do you get your team of support? If you want a natural birth, do you have doctors, midwife, or your birth companion who truly support what you wish? It makes a whole lot different because what the mom needs is a lot of encouragement and say that you can do it, and that's what she needs. Yeah, and what happened here? You can see the face of this lady, where mom does not believe she can do it. She doesn't trust herself because of a lot of misconception that it has to be a medical event, which is not. Now you will see a picture later, which is a typical hospital birth, where mom is hooked up with a lot of things, the machine. And this is what you will see in the hospital. Well, 99% of the women who give birth in the hospital, and some of them may not be able to move about, to eat during labor, and a lot of time they feel not in control, helpless, versus a mom who births naturally. So she knows what is good for her, right? And she can request in the birth plan and write down what you want and ask for it. When you ask for it, there's a 50-50 chance you may get it, you may not get it. But look at these two women. They look very different, right? The one on your right side, who is Belinda, she birthed very easily, yeah, and she smiled after each surge. So she was smiling a lot of time during her labor, which is very nice to see, and that inspired her husband as well, because they all believe birth is natural, all come from your belief system. Another thing is there's a difference between vaginal birth and natural birth, because not all vaginal birth is considered natural birth. So the definition is different, and that's something you need to ask your doctor. Yeah, when a lot of time moms say, I want to have a natural birth, you say, yes, why not? Yeah, but this is the natural birth they mean. All vaginal birth is what they consider natural birth, but not always the case. Yeah. So when mom trusts her birthing instinct and birth with little or no intervention, so we consider as natural birth. So what happened with these two women? What's the difference between these two women? It's all in the mind. Okay, here. Most of the time, you should stay in the parasympathetic nervous system where you feel comfortable, at ease, peace, and calm. That's what we should be in this state, because our immune system is strong. We breathe deeply, and digestion is good. Yeah, heartbeat is normal, and breathing is good as well. While versus the sympathetic nervous system, we should stay in this state about 2 to 5% of the time, because we need to be alert at one point, but not too much. Yeah. So the difference between these two mom is that when one is stressed, angry, probably, fearful, anxious, she will stay in the sympathetic nervous system. And sometimes it's not just about how what you see or how you feel, but it's also what you perceive as real can make a difference. Every thought, every emotion is a corresponding response in the body. You have experienced that before, such as a frozen shoulders at the end of the day, constipation if you are rushing to work and you don't have much time. Yeah. Now, if you come up to the highest building here in Singapore and look down, what would happen? You probably will experience sweaty palms, butterfly in the stomach, heartbeat pounding, right? And people dilate. And that is a state of fight or flight, which is in the sympathetic nervous system. Now, during labor, especially for first-time mom, when the movement of the body, birthing body, it's not something that is familiar. So if that triggers fear, she may really tighten up, and she may stay in this state, which is the sympathetic nervous system. However, in birth, it is neither fight or flight. It is freeze. Just like that. So what happened over here is the uterus is working during labor. It is the outer layer of the uterine muscle is pulling the womb, the neck of the womb, which is the cervix, up to open it. So this movement is 2 steps forward and 1 step back. It's like waves. So this movement will slowly open up. However, if it triggers the fight or flight system, and in this case freeze, uterus is not part of the defense system. Therefore, blood flow to the limbs. Oxygenated blood is all flow to the limbs and away from the womb. In this case, the uterus is lack of oxygen and blood supply to the baby. So what happened over here is when baby is lack of oxygen supply, baby may get distressed. So baby heartbeat may drop. And this muscle will actually tighten up. So you can, I have this mic gets in the way, but you can try and demo. You can hold a fist with all your might like that. You can follow me if you want. Now use your finger. Okay, like this, and use this finger and poke. Try to poke it in and see if you can get your finger in. Can you feel? You can feel what's inside, right? It's poking, right? And the head of the baby will be banging against this top muscle. But what if you are relaxed? Let go, right? And hold the fist like that again, without tension. And now put your finger in and see what happens. It's tight, but it's a lot easier. Yeah. So we do take care of the mind, because mind and body is connected. We can just focus on the body that gives birth, but the mind is actually affecting this body, and likewise. Yeah. So in this case, what happens is if the mind is resisting the body, and the body is continue to open up the cervix, but it cannot, it make it very difficult. Therefore, the first and second stage of labor will be longer. Yeah. And a lot of time, if it doesn't progress as what the doctor wanted, it is labeled as failure to progress. So she may need chemical drug to help her in this case, or maybe she may end up with a surgical birth. So the same initial FTP over here, it means failure to progress. In a medical term, it is really due to fear, tension, pain syndrome.